Ladies, gentlemen, geeks of all ages, you are now entering BJ Shea's Geek Nation. Welcome.
We are here at Emerald City Comic Con with one of my favorite game designers of all time, one of the creators, co-creators of 13th Age, Mr. Rob Hainso. Rob, how are you doing today, sir?
Really good. Really fun.
And I love this because you came to me and you said, I have a new game that I've created. And you created from the ground up, from the art up, really, right?
The great part about this was that Shane and Dennis of Arc Dream had all the art done by Kurt Komoda, and they had all the funny names. So I inherited inspiration, and more than inspiration. I mean, when you're dealing with a game that has like Casilda's thong as a pun on the on Casilda's song, from the Chambers genre, it's like you have to make the mechanics live up to this amazing art. And so the first couple times I did the mechanics, it's like not fun enough, not crazy enough. And so the eventual goal, was to make something that lived up to its art. And I think it's the first time I ever got to design a game directly to that.
And the game we have here is Wrestlenomicon, which is giant celestial galactic beasts.
That's the Haster side.
Cthulhu,
Yeah, Cthulhu side.
Cthulhu and Haster wrestling for the galaxy, I guess would be the best way to put it.
I think the way that Arc Dream has phrased it is the winner destroys the universe. And you can see there's an awful lot of side effect collateral damage that happens as we go. The things that I put down to destroy a permanent, there's an effect of destroy a permanent. It always essentially looks like either Cthulhu or Haster is just destroying an entire city or a continent. And it's like, yeah, that's a permanent, that's gone.
So if we look at the game board here, we've got different setups, and it's basically showing the distance from Earth that we are. So we've got 6, which is super deep, all the way down to 1, which is next to Earth, and then Ground Zero, which is on Earth itself.
And really, Arc Dream is going to be so angry at me because I'm such a goober in the sense that I just play with the cards. They've made beautiful looking cards for these that are part of the Kickstarter that anybody who backs at a $1 pledge can go ahead and download the print and does not do-it-yourself game. And believe me, they do look better. There's also, you're playing with me, the Cro-Magnon. It's like, well, this is how I did it originally. We'll just keep playing this way,
So it's what it is we're BJ and I are going to be battling for dominance, the destruction of the universe. He's going to be playing Cthulhu.
Do you want to say anything about what happened to you in your warm-up game, or are we just going to pretend that never happened?
That was not on tape, so it didn't happen. It was not official. So it's a card game. It's fast-paced, and we start off with drawing 7 cards.
Actually, you're going to want to take 25 cards.
Oh, yes, that's right. We need 25 cards. Go ahead, do that
for you.
Absolutely, please do.
All right.
And right now, Wrestlenomicon is available on Kickstarter. You can find it right now just for searching for Wrestlenomicon, or just in this link right here. You can check it out. This is a fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. Like we said, fast-paced wrestling action with some really seriously funny names on the titles. The art is really great, and we'll get a look at that once we get started too. Here's my discard deck here. You're playing against me, buddy.
Yeah, you're playing against, I don't know, do you have a wrestling name?
What's my faction?
What do I got here?
Cthulhu. I got Cthulhu, baby. He's the guy. Everybody else is second rate compared to Cthulhu.
Wow. So here's my deck.
The guts of Cthulhu.
He has a point in the sense that a lot of the packaging and even the planned playmat really does show Cthulhu to advantage, whereas Haster is a bit of an afterthought. Let's see if you can change that this time.
So
you're going to Cthulhu's.
Wow. So in the wrestling world, you would consider maybe Cthulhu being like the Hulk Hogan, the mainstay, the big top-tier wrestler.
That the card art here for Represent, definitely shows some Hogan-sized bling, is what I'm thinking.
So how do we start off this game, Rob?
Okay, the start of the game is a little bit different than the rest of it, but you know what? I'm going to tell the audience one thing first before we start. When they play attack cards, the attacks don't actually hit until they've reached ground zero. When you play an attack card, normally you're pushing your other cards that are already in the track closer, because it's a battle between giant elder gods moving really slowly with their fists. So you can see the attack coming, and the question is, what can you do about it? The very first turn, you're both going to choose an attack card simultaneously, and you're going to slap it down in its position on the track. And the person who played the higher momentum card, which normally would move another card, but since there's no other card there, you're winning the right to take the first turn. So high momentum goes first. Do it.
Flip him over.
Put in position. Whoa.
Oh, yes.
Wow, he's got momentum 3. I have momentum 2. Mine goes on the number 4, so it goes into the 4 spot. His is the number 6, the farthest away.
Right.
Seems like it's a pretty powerful attack. That's why it takes so long to get there.
That's right. It takes a long time to get there. And you'll notice right now that ranged, every card hurts another type of card that the enemy has. Right now, you're in an advantageous position because his Viscera card, if you can attack it, if it's down here, you will slam him. You'll get the extra effect.
And what are the 4 different types of damage?
Bizarre cards, their attacks, they oftentimes give you cultists and do weird things. Dominance cards, they oftentimes let you draw more cards to your hand, but they also do damage. Ranged cards push the enemy away and also do damage. And Viscera cards do damage. Do more damage.
Lots of damage. Lots of damage.
BJ gets the first turn because he has a higher momentum. So from now on, you play 1 card on your turn, either an attack or a permanent. And eventually, we'll watch you pass to draw cards, I'm pretty sure.
So like Rob said, so you take a look at these 2 things. So the first thing I do is I see the number 3, so I'll put it on the number 3 card, and then the 2 arrow will allow me to move another card 2 spots. It can be any other card on the board. Well, I will do that. I can't ever move past the card that I have. They'll get blocked.
You can move past, but you can't land on top of it.
That's right.
That's
like
right.
I said, you can't. He knows how to play the game. But I'm going to take this guy 1-2 because that's what that arrow does. I get to move 1 card, and they're both closer to ground 0. And if I had a combo card, I could play that. But as you can see, I do not. But don't tell Rev.
The very first card that reaches ground 0, when the opponent has no card here, slams. So you're both kind of racing to be the first person to get extra effect.
All right.
Let's see what you can do.
I'm going to play my next attack card, which goes on 5. It's a Barrel of Beasties. It does 2 movements, so it moves it's the Wet Rot. Next down, 2 more down to 2, and that is my turn.
Over to BJ.
BJ.
This is
where
very mellow compared to the first guy.
First blood is about to happen, though, because I've got number 5, so I've got a little 5, but I get to move 3, so it's 1, 2, and
Oh yeah, so it's slam.
and I get a slam.
So what do we got here? Let's read it, BJ. What do you got?
So I've got, again, Mr. Everybody Poops. Now that I get there, I get to do the ability, which is in this box, which is if I wish, I'm definitely going to do a D3 damage, and if I wish, I can discard 2 cards to deal an extra D3 damage.
And because you're slamming, you get another D3.
You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to discard 2 because I'm that kind of guy, and I'm going to also discard. I think I'm going to discard that guy too.
Go here.
So that's my discard.
Yep.
So now I'm going to get to roll.
3D3,
I'm going to roll 3 D3s. So here's my first 2. So, whoa, so that is a 2, that's 3. So I got 5, 5 plus 1 more, 5 plus 2. 7 damage. He loses guys.
Not for this one. Unfortunately, I do have a defense card, but spoiler alert, it needs a cultist, and I don't have one yet. Yeah. So you can tell these are the defense cards. This card will actually help you out. Unfortunately, I don't fulfill the requirements, therefore I can't use it, so I'm taking the full 7 points of damage.
And as a little spirit on his side, I know he's very busy talking and playing at the same time and being entertaining.
Yeah?
Look at that card.
Ooh.
Oh. Play when you take damage, discards your hand,
Discard my hand.
draw as many cards as you discarded and cancel that much damage. Now's the time!
Wow, okay,
Now's
so
the time.
I think I'm going to have to do that. I didn't realize that I had this good defense card. So, BJ.
Rob, don't help.
So, BJ,
Yes. So I did.
my decision to sit next to Rev is because I've known him for a long time. We're pretty good friends, and
So I didn't do 7 damage.
No. So, play when I take damage. I discard my entire hand.
4
so
cards?
my entire hand goes away. 4 cards. I draw that many cards, and then I cancel that much damage. So I cancel 4 damage. So I only take 3 points of damage.
1,
That's a great card I didn't see last game.
3. All right. Well, you lost. Yeah, look at that. That's one of your vibes.
Nice. Ooh, and he's got ranged. Shoot, it's not Viscera, so unfortunately. So now I have a whole new hand of cards. I can. Ooh. All right, so we're back, and I've got this. Now, this is an interesting card.
Yeah, this is fun. This is one of the. This card is fun.
Have you felt the yellow sign, which is a D6 on placement?
Right.
So I rolled a 2.
It's gonna land
lands here, but then it's a D3 for movement, and that's 2 movements. So I'm going to move this one. Yeah.
If this card had stayed here, he would have eliminated it.
Yeah.
But because he can move it, it's attacking.
And so now I've got It's the Wet Rot, which is 1 point of damage to you.
I don't like that.
And then a D3 for 3 to knock one backwards.
This is a better symbol in the final game. It's a little like really jagged spiral. The arrow didn't make this much sense to people. So but in the you just moved him 3 places, and look what happens when he moves 3.
Gone out of the galaxy. Go to your discard.
This is not how it went last game.
Not how it went.
Did you take your 1 point of damage?
1 point of damage.
Did not want to, but sure, fine.
See, and as you can tell at this point, it's a pretty fast-paced game. You play one card, a thing happens, and then you move on. You pay defense on your opponent's turn, and then you can play a permanent card, which we'll show in a second because I'll have to play one because I need to.
So by knocking his card off the board, you see how he only has 2 cards left. When he has 4 or fewer cards, he can pass to draw. He probably had plays connected to that, and you really knocked that out. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm not going to draw cards. I'm going to be a man about it and go 2. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to draw cards. I'm going to be a man about it, and I'm going to go 2. And that's all I got. I got 1 card left, but I still need to move. I'm making it happen.
All right. Take.
Rolling 2 for position on this was really good.
Yeah, right. That was pretty decent on that one.
Was.
So what I'm going to now, if I have a card that says move more than the spot, if I say it says move 3, can I move?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, move 3. You stop here.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Viscera card.
Head Slam.
Hyades Head Slam. It's a Viscera that plays at 6 and goes at 3. And I have to do that. So I'm going to go 3 here, and it does a D6 damage.
And now you'll notice it slams Bazaar. This is not a Bazaar card, so you don't get the slam, but you do get D6 of damage.
D6 damage is
And
pretty
I
decent.
bet that's not a defense card.
I love 1 damage. There we go. Boy, I feel so sorry for your not loss.
Yeah, I'm sure. So what are you going to do now, BJ?
By the way, this is one of my favorite cards. That his defense, the card that went out of his guts, is I'll take Rhode Island to block. And if you have a card in space 1 or 2, he just cancels the damage. But he has to set up for that. So
That's pretty cool.
the interesting thing about the damage pile, the guts, is that games are really different. You know, even with a 60-card deck, and if we get to the 70 or 80-card deck, which are stretch goals, then it's really stretched out different.
And now this plays really good as a 1v1 game, but there are multiplayer components to this. So tell us a little bit about the multiplayer components.
If we were playing with 3 players, we'd have another set of the placement cards here, and we'd have 3 tracks. And we would each attack left at first, but as soon as we got a hit off, our enemy would switch to become the player on the right. And so there's no gang up. It's like a battle royale where you punch with your left fist, you punch with your right fist, you punch with your left. And the thing about noticing which slam is going to hit who, it's actually the multiplayer game, the skill level is actually really high. It's kind of this thing of like you going, I know you're going to do that, and then you're going to do that, and I'll do this, and then somebody walks away like that. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And you can play tag team, too. There are tag team rules.
Oh, this is perfect. There's so many different ways to do this. Seriously, check out the Kickstarter. Right now it's happening. Wrestlenomicon. It's been going on for a little while, so if you just noticed this on our Facebook page, you can probably still check it out. Who created this as well? Who helped you create this?
Shane Ivey and Dennis Detwiller from Arc Dream Publishing, the people who published Delta Green. So they're known as they're known as role-playing game. This is their first non-role-playing game. This is their first like card style game, and so they along with the artist Kurt Komoda, they did all the card names and and then Kurt Komoda did all the art. They did the art direction.
Again, check this out, Wrestlenomicon, available on Kickstarter. Check it out and back this game and get it. It's fun, it's fast-paced, it's a really good game to play when you're either at like a restaurant or hanging out, waiting for another game to start. A good in-between RPG games.
The very first serious play testing we were doing in Thai restaurants. And we said, hey, we're going to be here for an hour or so, play a couple games. And they're like, okay.
I love it. And Rob, if anyone has any questions for you about this or any of the other stuff that they do, what's the best way to contact you, man?
Could be on Twitter, @Rob Hainso. is probably the best place. Yep,
Perfect.
I do more on there than on Facebook. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Okay.